Today is October 20th of 2023. So we are closing the third quarter of 2023. I want to do a year in review in our local real estate Bay Area market. There's a lot of doom and gloom on the news about the economy as a whole, but here in the Bay Area, 3 counties most relevant to us is tech layoff. We are hearing several rounds of layoffs within the big tech companies, Google, Facebook, among many of them. And also just a few months ago, the big news about Silicon Valley Bank facing closure, as well as Morgan Stanley taking over First Republic Bank. So a lot of those negative news are creating a lot of anxiety when it comes to people thinking about making one of the biggest decisions in their life, buying a home, right? So let's talk about really how exactly are the market doing? Do those doom and gloom news really translate to a decline in housing market, or is it still a good time to sell and buy? Today, I'm going to show you some real data to help you draw your own conclusion. So let's look at this chart. We are summarizing the 3 counties here in the Bay Area, most closest to us, the San Mateo County, which goes from South San Francisco all the way down to Menlo Park, Santa Clara County, Palo Alto down south to Morgan Hill, Gilroy, and Alameda County, which is what we consider the East Bay. All 3 counties are what the majority of what the Bay Area is located, is where all the tech and all the high-paying jobs are located, and very limited land to develop, which creates a constant housing demand. In terms of home prices, we are comparing last quarter of last year, 2022, and the first 3 quarters of this year. We are seeing in this chart over here, in all 3 counties, home prices actually haven't changed that much. The only notable change is we look at the percentage changes here. The increase we see very notably first quarter of this year going into second quarter, which typically is a spring season. We are seeing an increase, actually not a decrease, in median home prices in all 3 counties. San Mateo County have experienced a 9% growth in median home prices, Santa Clara County 12%, Alameda County 8%. So these are median home prices, which is the price point most of the buying activities and selling activities took place. And we're seeing in a spring season, there is actually a very robust demand. However, from the summer season going into the fall season, we're looking at Q2 of this year going into Q3, we're seeing a slight decline. And that's mainly due to interest rate. We know that the Federal Reserve Bank have adjusted mortgage interest rate a few times over the last couple months, and which is, I believe, what causes a slight decline in median home prices, as well as, we see the days on the market probably flatten out, and also sales volume has decreased, which means that fewer transactions took place in the marketplace from the summer season going into the fall season of this year. So overall, what does that mean to you if you're a seller or buyer? If you're a seller, this data is showing us over the last year, spring season is still a very good time to sell. Typically, we saw a higher median home prices increase in median home prices, a lower days on the market, which translate to increased demand in housing generally during the spring season. So if you're thinking about selling, spring season is still a really good time to sell. If you're thinking about buying, I know the hope is that for buyers out there that the prices will drop and you're going to find good deals on the market, that you don't have to pay as much, right? That's always the hope and the wish. However, the data is showing us that demand is still very strong. Prices hasn't fluctuated that much. And I want to remind you that buying a home is a long-term investment. Hardly anybody is buying something and get out in a few months, right? Unless you're flipping a home. But majority of you are thinking about buying a home to live in, buying a home to keep. So we're talking about many, many years down in the horizon. I would say buy it now would be a good idea because prices probably won't fluctuate all that much. We're not seeing a downturn. We're not seeing a decline in median home prices, but we are seeing that interest rate could likely increase again, maybe a couple times going into the near future. So if you're paying for the same thing now and paying for the same thing later at a higher interest rate, you want to pay something at a lower interest rate now. And that's generally the sentiment, the prediction. Interest rates are likely to increase again. So I would say that you want to lock into a lower interest rate before it increases again. And again, interest rate seem high compared to a year or two ago. So getting into that 7.5% 30-year mortgage seems harsh. However, it's better than paying 8 or 8.5%. And then you could always refinance it down when interest rate drop. So if your goal is here to stay, your jobs are here, your kids are invested in the school system here, you're going to be here for the next 5 years or longer, buying sooner is generally better than later. If you're looking for the complete data set of what I just talked about, just click the link below. If you're watching this video, I know you're interested in building wealth through real estate. Consider downloading my mini course here where I talk about how to accumulate long-term appreciation through real estate. Number 2, how to own a home, get your mortgage and your expenses paid for by your tenants. And number 3, how to pay as little capital gain taxes as possible through real estate. So download my mini course down here. And if you want to know what kind of home you could get for $3,000 in mortgage payment a month, watch this video right here. I share some examples of homes you could buy here in the Bay Area for $3,000 a month in mortgage payment.